Well, good morning, private practice success community. How are you, ladies and gentlemen, going today? I have just finished around about 45 minutes, a bit longer, at my local gym here at the YMCA. You can hear a lot of noise there because they're doing swimming classes and stuff like that right over there. And my kids' school is right over there. Hey, Claire. Wow, I finally get to at least see a bit of you here on the live stream. How's things going in Puff? As you can see, it's a glorious day. Look at this glorious day here in Brizzy. Hey, Kalia, how are you? I've got, come on, go on my watch. I've got probably, I need to figure out how to tap my watch. Hang on, sorry, can't see. Anyway, I'll just, do a guesstimate. I have about 20 minutes to talk to you guys before I'm going to walk into my kids' school and go and attend this morning's celebration, as they call it. Is it celebration? No, assembly. I should probably know what it's called. It's a bit of an assembly thing, and the grade 2s, and my son is in grade 2, they in charge of assembly today, so they're doing little things and singing stuff. So I'm going to be a bit of a mummy and go and attend that. So I've already done the gym, then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go home and start my day of work, right? So I thought, now that I have this 20 minutes, I might speak to you guys about the topic that I have listed. And the topic I've got listed is waitlist versus cancel list, and what truly constitutes having a full caseload. And the idea to live stream straight in here for you guys was prompted by Amanda Panda. I like saying that. Amanda's question in terms of going, how do people manage their waitlist and all of that type of stuff, right? Hey, Tamala, excellent seeing you here as well. So I'm going to get straight into it because I only have 20 minutes, and you guys know how I can talk. So I think it's really important that you are able to differentiate for yourself, for your clinician team, as well as for your admin team. People need to understand the difference between a wait list and a cancel list. And I often find practice owners and clinicians using these terms interchangeably, and sometimes they talk to me about their wait list, and then I find out it's actually a cancel list that they're referring to. And it's really important to differentiate these two, because your systems and your processes around the optimal management of these two lists are going to be different, right? Because it's two completely different lists. Do not confuse the two. All right, so what is a wait list? A wait list is basically people sitting on a list and they do not have any appointments booked in your diary. They are brand new clients to be. So they've got a referral to see you. When they called, there were no appointments in the diary. You couldn't give them appointments, so they're on a wait list. Okay, and obviously you had all the triage, risk assessment, all that type of process and questions in the background, right? Again, I'm not going to go into too much details. We're talking more big picture differentiation now. So that's the wait list. They have not engaged other than calling up and said yes, they're happy to wait on the list, and you have assessed them as okay to wait on the list, right? A cancel list is people that are already current clients, right? Which means they're already seeing us, your clinicians. They might have had 1, 2, or 22 sessions, doesn't matter how many sessions. However, they may have future appointments booked. Maybe they have an appointment booked for in 2 weeks. However, when you saw them this week, you as a clinician, they were in crisis and you went, oh geez, I really need to see this person next week as well. Then you go to your diary and you realize, there's no appointments in my diary for next week. That person still gets their confirmed appointment for in 2 weeks' time, but now you put them on your cancel list, right? That is, maybe you do consulting on Wednesdays and Thursdays next week, so you will have a cancel list for Wednesday and Thursday with that person's name on it, right? To say, if I have a cancellation on that day, then this person needs to be called and they need to be offered this appointment. And they, of course, can say yes and they can say no. So it's really important to have those, okay? Tell me that makes sense. Those guys that are here watching, hey Amber, how are you? By the way, guys, I'm looking worse for wear because I just spent like almost an hour in the gym, right? It's not my best look, but it is my post-workout look. So does that make sense? If you can't type, just give me some love hearts or some likes to let me know it makes sense. Waitlist, different to cancel list. You're going to deal with them differently. You need to make sure that they are separate. Otherwise, people get them confused, and then it's just a disaster, and your systems and processes won't work. Thank you, Tamala. Thank you guys for the like and love heart. All right, so that's really important to know. And to answer Amanda's question, yes, you most certainly always have an ethical responsibility to look after current clients first, okay? We never want any of our clients to have a negative experience with our practice, which means that they would have a negative experience with our industry. We are all about reducing the stigma around mental health, and if they have a negative experience, then we are contributing to that stigma, right? We want to make sure that people do not fall through the cracks, which means that cancellation list is really important. It means that re-engagement of current clients is important, which means that no, you don't wait for your client to contact you. That just tells me that you don't believe in your worth and your expertise as an individual. When clinicians tell me that they wait, and I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but when clinicians tell me that they want the client to pick up the phone and call back, or they ask the client, when would you like to come back in again? And I know people package that up as control or choice for the client, but you know what? The way I see it is, I think it's unrealistic expecting mental health clients to take that level of control, right? Particularly with certain presentations. And to use that unilaterally across all your clients is just not good. And for me, it really, when you look psychodynamically, and I'm very much coming from South Africa, psychodynamically trained, and it's ingrained in how I think about my clients, although, you know, of course I do a lot of CBT ACT and mindfulness and all the Australian, you know, Medicare mandated therapies. My psychodynamic instincts is convinced that that is about the clinician wanting the client to validate the value the clinician is providing in sessions. And I know this is probably a whole different conversation, but you cannot rely on the client to look after your validation internally and externally as a clinician. That's your job, your responsibility, and therefore you need to be the person that gives the client direction. And of course, they've got choice over whether they say yes or whether they say no, right? There's always a balance. It's not harassing them, it's not coercing them. It's speaking with confidence and conviction about knowing what it is that they need given their presenting problem. All right, and they might think they need something else, but you still need to tell them what you think you need. There's a reason why you study for bloody 6 years before you get registered, right? Jeez Louise, believe that you know what you're doing. Anyway, let's get back to today's topic of conversation. God, you're so good at going off on a tangent. Amanda says, I'm concerned about carrying risk. I have too many open client files and not being able to see people as frequently as needed. Yeah, you need to give those clients first priority in terms of looking after them. You need to call them, Amanda, and get them booked in. If you do not have open appointments, you need to make active use of your cancellation list. You know, you will know how many cancellations or no-shows you get. I'm assuming you're in solo private practice. If you are in a group private practice, obviously you want to try and give them to your other clinicians. If you are in solo private practice and you are completely fully booked, I would have a look at not, taking on new clients, just saying, you don't say my books are closed. Don't use those words. What you say is, I'm not taking any new clients on for the next 2 months. However, I would suggest you see A, B, and C. Who's other solo practitioners in your area that might have space? If there is none, because that could be the case if you are rurally located, right, then you need to send them back to their GP for support. The GP is always the primary caregiver, right, in our community. However, I try and make the GP's job as easy as possible by actually, providing somewhere else for the client to go. But if there's none, there is none. And that might mean that the client might need to have regular check-ins with the doctor, right? I just want to check the time on my watch. Hang on, I'm just going to put you down for a second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Got 9 minutes. Yes, so that's what you need to do. I wouldn't keep client files open for a long time, right? I would rather send reports and tell clients they can come back. When clients go, oh, I'm not sure if I want to come back, or I'm going to wait 5 weeks, it's like, no, we don't do that. I'd rather tell them, you know, perfectly fine, you can take a 5-week break to see how you're coping. However, what I need to do is write back to the doctor. That's a Medicare requirement, right? And you need to go in and have just a check-in, not a review, don't use that word, a check-in with your doctor, because again, that's a Medicare requirement, right? If a GP surgery is well operated and they get your 6-session report or your final report, if it's not after 6 sessions, or your discharge, conclusion report, whatever word you want to use, they actually have an obligation under Medicare to call the client in and ask the question, how was it? Did you enjoy it? That, you know, not did you enjoy it, but was it worthwhile? Are you feeling better? Has your symptoms improved, right? Whenever a GP does a referral to a specialist and or allied health professional, they have an obligation to do that check-in. All right. Then the other question that I had, topic I had in my live stream topic was, what is a full caseload? I was asked this question at the masterclass weekend workshop just this past weekend on the Gold Coast, and my answer has always remained the same all the years that I've been in private practice, and that is that you know, a clinician has space on their caseload to take on new clients if they have appointments open in their diary in the next 4 weeks. So I don't have a number. I don't go, if you work 4 days, your caseload is X amount of clients, or if you work 1 day or 2 days, it's X amount of clients. No, you can take on clients if you have open appointments in your diary for the next 4 weeks. Why 4 weeks? Because I require all my clinicians to pre-book client appointments, a minimum 3, ideally 6. Again, it's client choice. Right, but that's what we advocate for, because we want to see how busy we are. It helps us to actually monitor and manage our wait list ethically and effectively by telling clients to pre-book, right? If clients then chooses not to book, we're going to give that appointment to another person, somebody first and foremost that's on our cancellation list. If nobody wants it, a new client on the wait list. However, the other rule of thumb is this: you can only book in a new client on a wait list this week if they can get a second appointment in the next 2 weeks. So when you book them in, reception needs to pre-book at least 3, ideally 6 appointments, because it all comes down to continuity of care. Very, very important. Amanda says, I've asked at reception not book any new clients in with me until next year. Perfect. Now guys, I'm gonna have to love and leave you. Just a quick reminder, if you have not heard via my email or on my Facebook page, I'm running the Income Blueprint planning, not webinar, virtual event on Friday the 6th of December at 12 noon. No, sorry, 11. I changed. It was going to be 12. Now it's 11 a.m. Queensland time. I'll put in the details in here. Would love to plan your 2020 with you. Have a fabulous and amazing day. I'm going to go to assembly and see what my grade 2 class and my kids are up to there. So I'll speak to you soon. Bye.